Today I want to talk about foster carers quitting, why we may feel we want to quit, why we do quit, and my own personal thoughts about how I'm feeling about quitting fostering at the moment. So let's get into this. Before we start, just a brief summary of my fostering journey. I am a single foster carer in England. I do short-term placements and I've been fostering for about 3 years now, just short of 3 years, and I've had 8 children in that time. I tend to do younger children. I've had the age ranges, I've gone from newborn, and the eldest I've had was 8, I think. Yeah, they were 8. So pretty young children. I do tend to do sort of like the under 5s generally. When I was preparing to make this video, I talked to a few different foster carers that I've either know locally or that I've met online through making these videos, because I wanted to see, is this feeling, the feeling that I'm feeling about like wanting to quit, is it a common feeling? Do all foster carers kind of feel that way? And I think, yeah, the answer quite categorically was that every foster carer kind of feels that way at some point in their journey, and possibly you feel it multiple times. But I wanted to know why different foster carers felt that they were done and they wanted to quit, rather than it just being all about my thoughts right now on how I feel. People came back with a few various different things. I think the big one is like the system. Yeah, we get it. It's difficult, sort of like fighting against the system. Not being treated with respect from other professionals that they work with was also a really big one, that foster carers were just annoyed that they just were really not treated with respect. People also say that no children, they don't have placements. Like, I've come to be a foster carer and I'm just not getting children. It's not something I've ever had problems with. Some people had like grief over the children leaving, that they just didn't realise how difficult it would be, that they can't cope with, you know, having a child for maybe 6 months, a year, and then they leave and they just can't cope with that, which, you know, again, I guess is fair enough. It's intrusive. People just get sick of the fact that your home is inspected constantly, and, you know, you get unannounced visits, and of course, like, I understand that. Actually, to be honest, it doesn't really bother me. My home is relatively tidy most of the time, and if they turn up and start picking and moaning about things, I mean, I've never dealt with anyone like that. I suppose if you have, I have spoken to foster carers who, they come around and they're just, the social workers nitpick on everything and anything. I haven't had that. I think that I would tell them to leave my house, to be honest, if they came around and started being a bit over the top about things. It's a home at the end of the day. As far as I'm concerned, you're not going to come in and it's going to be spotless. You might do, I might have just had a cleaning day and it's spotless, but invariably there'll be things around, and that's just how it is. And if you don't like that, honestly, take these children away. Like, I just think it's pathetic that to be so nitpicky about things, and I wouldn't take it. I don't care that they're a social worker. I would not accept someone coming into my home and just being rude about things. I wouldn't have it, to be honest. There were quite a few more, to be honest, on why foster carers quit. Obviously, the foster carers that I spoke to didn't ever actually quit because they're still foster carers. In terms of my feelings at the moment, I think that I'm kind of 2-3 months into this whole thought of, I'm done, I want to quit, and I've almost sort of like come out of the other side, and I've sort of resonated things a little bit in my own head of, it's not that you want to quit, I think you probably just need a break, is sort of where I'm at right now. Obviously the pandemic has hit everyone, or most people, hard in terms of work life and how we balance that. We've got our school children homeschooling, and it was all, let's be honest, last March our lives just flipped upside down, most of us, and it's been generally a difficult year for most people, sort of in whatever job you work. Let's be honest, it's not been the best I'm pretty sure that everyone in whatever job they do at some point over the past year has thought, oh, I'm done, I'm fed up of this. I'm sick of trying to, like, you're an office worker, you're trying to work from home and you've got your homeschooling your kids and we should just quit, I'm fed up with this anymore. I think we've all probably thought that way. I think for me, compassion fatigue is a really big thing. I was watching a video maybe 2 months ago, I can't remember who made it, but they were talking about compassion fatigue and I thought, this sounds a little bit like me right now. So I went on and kind of Googled. I found this thing, the difference between burnout and compassion fatigue. And burnout results from stresses in the workplace, such as problems with co-workers, loss of economic security or position, or diminished control. Whereas compassion fatigue is an emotional and physical burden created by the trauma of helping others in distress, which leads to a reduced capacity for empathy towards suffering in the future. As the foster carer, you know, you take on this little child, or big child if you do old children, with all of these stories of their past and why they've come into foster care, and it's just heartbreaking. And it's definitely that feeling of you're caring for children who have been through traumas, and there's sort of like, you've only got so much, and there's just this point in thing, it's kind of like, it's not I can't cope, because it isn't I can't cope anymore, but it's like, you also sort of, you take on the parents in this as well, that, you know, the parents aren't necessarily bad people. You know, maybe there's alcohol or drugs involved and they've got their own issues, and you feel compassion for the parents in that they're going through this awful time. Their children have been taken off them, maybe they're not going to get them back, and there's just this thing of just constantly sort of thinking of other people and being compassionate towards other people that just is really quite tiring. And I think that I just kind of need a break from that. Like I said before, the system is just something that annoys us all, kind of, in a way. It can be frustrating, but I would say it is sort of a factor of why I'm just like, oh, I want to quit. But the system doesn't get better if I just quit it, does it? That it does feel sometimes that when you're trying to advocate for a child is playing with the kitchen over there, they're going to start banging pans, it's going to get noisy. There is definitely a thing of, you'll see a certain situation is going on and you're trying to advocate for the child and you're speaking to kind of everyone that you can possibly think of that you need to speak to, and nobody seems to be listening, and like, why? I don't understand why no one's listening to me about this thing. But that doesn't get better if I just walk away from it. I would say the big thing for me right now is that I would not have thought in a million years, to be honest, even knowing the system and how things can be delayed and things happen, I would have more or less bet my house on the fact that the children that are currently with me would not be with me this summer. And you know what? Maybe they won't be. I still don't know if they will be. But this whole uncertainty of life is something that really quite gets me down, to be honest. So, I mean, the pandemic put a stop to this anyway, so this is kind of a moot point. But Stephen finishes school, my son finishes school, well, this week actually. Today, as you're watching this video, today as you're watching this video, it is his last day in school. And it was always a plan to like do a big trip when he finished school, go travelling for a bit. We couldn't do that with the pandemic anyway. I mean, we probably could. We could go to Portugal. Yeah, but like, we just can't do it. Like the children, I absolutely thought these children would not be here still. Like, even if all the borders all of a sudden opened up and we could go, we can't because I've got the children. And I just hate that about it. I know maybe that sounds selfish to some people hearing that, but travel and like going away, even like going away for the weekends, I want to be able to, even like so with the children. I'm a big one. If I go on holiday, generally the children can come with me. That's another whole load of faffing with trying to get them passports and things and getting permissions and whatever. But even just like a weekend away, if it's a glorious weekend, I want to be able to get up on Saturday morning and just get in the car, drive somewhere, book a hotel last minute, stay overnight somewhere, like take the kayak up to the lakes or whatever. I want to be able to do that in my life, and I just can't because I don't have parental responsibility for the children. I need permissions to take them overnight somewhere, and that just really, it does honestly like just kind of get me down that I can't just live my life when there's children here. Like I wanted to go away with Stephen finishing school. I want to go away in a few weeks' time, and honestly I think I'm saying I'm going. Only obviously just in this country, just somewhere. I want to just be able to book it. You know, like if you just find something. It was just like it's like a caravan thing. It was like, I don't know how much it was, but it was really cheap, and so just go for a few days, even a week maybe. I want to just be able to book it when I see the good price, but I can't book it because I've got to get permissions. Like say it's a non-refundable thing. I can't book it until I get permissions off the social workers, and it's just a thing that I just want to be able to, if I want to go away for a weekend, I want to be able to do it. Like things like with passports with these children, I was like, oh, I don't need to get passports. And that's a little bit me being naive and stupid, I guess. I've done this before with other children that have been with me. They'll be gone, I won't need passports. Maybe I need to learn that lesson that actually it never really works that way. That I need to get passports for children. You know, if the world does open up in terms of travel this summer, damn right I want to go away. But I want to be able to, like, this just it does sound selfish. I get that this maybe comes across as really selfish, but also I think that actually this is my life and my son's life, and I've got to think of us as well. I can't just always, you know, it's not always about the children. That is, I deserve a life, and my son deserves a life as well. But yeah, say, like, and it's not even that I would have done this necessarily, but you know, when the borders opened on the 17th of May and we could go to Portugal, I wanted to be able to sit there and like, oh my goodness, that's a cheap flight to Portugal, let's go away. And like, I couldn't have, like, Stephen was in school, but now Stephen's finished school, we've got that potential. Oh yeah, we can just go away for a few days here and there, but I can't do that with the children, and it gets me down. It just feels like your whole life is just controlled in a sense by social services. I remember in the past when I've said like, oh, I want to go away for 2 weeks, and they're like, oh no, a social worker said to me you can only go away for 1 week. I was like, wanted to tell them to F off, to be quite honest. Like, I haven't been away all summer or whatever. I'm going away for 2 weeks, I'm willing to take the child with me, and you're saying I can't. Well then, they, like, certain social workers, like, they will control and take over if you allow them. I think you have just got to be, no, I'm going away, this is important to me, I want to go away. Yeah, so in terms of like this summer, I don't know how things will pan out for us going away and things, but it just, I don't want, right now, is where I'm thinking is that it potentially will work out quite well, that it's not I want to quit, is I need a break, because it has been full on for 3 years. I haven't really had a break. I've had multiple children from multiple families with lots of contact. There hasn't really been a break. I have had a couple of weeks off here and there, but not really. And it is 24/7. It's not like you go to work 9 to 5, Monday, Friday, whatever. It's 24/7, every single day, all day. And that's a toaster. It's driving me mad. Is it driving you mad? Can you hear it? I'm assuming you can hear it. Anyway, yeah, my thoughts are now that when decisions are made for these children, obviously I'm going to see these children through to decisions made for them and wherever they move on to. And then we've got the house renovations that are huge, that hopefully will start to get rolling soon. And so it potentially isn't that appropriate to have children here whilst the work is going on. So I may take an extended break, because I was thinking about this the other day. I was like Stephen, like he's just left school. In theory, I mean, this may not happen, but he's potentially only got 2 years left. He's going to go to college if he gets in. So he's going to be at home for 2 years, and then I'm thinking he's possibly going to be going on to uni. He may not, things may change. He may go to uni up in Edinburgh or down in London, or like somewhere really far away, and like he's gone, he's moved out. I've only got maybe, and this may not be the case, but I've maybe only got 2 years. That's a puppet. He's trying to drive me insane. It's like a macaw thing. I'll show you in a sec. No, I won't show you if you're not interested. Yeah, he's potentially only here for 2 years, 2 more years. And I don't want to look back at this time, these next 2 years, and think, oh, I wish I just hadn't fostered because like we could have done more together. I really don't want that to be like a big regret that I look back on. And there's the danger that if I do accept, like when these children go for do accept more children, there's that danger that obviously that they could be here until, you know, Stephen maybe leaves for uni or whatever. They may not, but there's just that, I want to be able to go kayaking with him and go away for weekends and go places and travel a bit and just do that. Yeah, I just don't want to look back on this time and regret that I wasn't able to do things with Stephen. So I think probably just an extended break is what I'm going for. That has obvious implications in terms of money I do earn from fostering. I am quite good that when I do have children, I put away a certain percentage every time I get paid to see through times when I don't have children, because we don't get paid when we don't have children, and I do put money aside for that. So that potentially will have a bit of a factor of when and how long I can have a break from fostering for. But we'll just say I have been feeling a bit about fostering lately. Like in the past, like maybe 3 months ago, I was really like, I'm so done. I was just so fed up of decisions that were being made and things that were happening, and just fed up with it all. I think maybe I made a video about it. Maybe I didn't. If I did, I'll link it up there. But I think maybe it was like a day in the life and things just went wrong one day. That I think that was maybe the start of my feelings about I'm just sick of it all. I'm just sick. But no, I think now that the right thing to do is an extended break, which, you know, we are allowed to take. Maybe like a 6-month thing. I don't know. It will, like I say, if the house is being done and the house isn't fit for children, then that will just force it. But definitely taking a break after these children. So there's my thoughts on quitting fostering, and actually, as it turns out, not quitting fostering, just taking a break. Let me know if you've ever thought about quitting. Did you quit? Why did you quit? Yeah, I'd like to know your stories down below. You can always DM me over on Insta. Quite a lot of you do that. The link is down below for my Instagram. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.